Hey everybody, how you all doing? Good evening, good afternoon. Michael Blongwood's coming to you from Maryland again today. Today I'm actually inside of a gym, just got done with a workout. Decided to shoot a quick video for you. And I'm going to be talking about the title of today's video, which is how do young kids relate to success in your business? So let me just jump right into it. And you're probably wondering, what's the correlation between kids and business and being successful? Well, folks, an opportunity just came into my lap the other day. In fact, yesterday I had an opportunity to coach young kids in their sports activities league, basically. And particularly, actually, yesterday was soccer. So I went out yesterday, and I have a 5-year-old son, and basically he was there as well. I'm getting him involved. I actually grew up with all kinds of sports as a kid, so I figured this would be a great way to give back. So yesterday I sat in and observed. I was just there to kind of take everything in and watch how the coaches are dealing with the children and what they're teaching and all that kind of stuff. So I did that yesterday, and one thing I noticed was that as I was watching the instructors or the coaches give instructions to the children about, techniques about soccer, things like this. I noticed that very few of the children were listening. Now, this is probably ages between like 4 and 6. So they are younger, and granted, a lot of kids at that age just don't listen, right? I mean, they don't listen, they don't pay attention, and there was a lot of that going on. And, what I did was at the end of the practice, I asked the coach, I said, how do you get these kids to pay attention? How do you get them to listen to you? And the coach's response was, well, our real focus is just to simply get them engaged, with what we're doing. And I said, engaged, that's interesting. So I thought about that for a little while, and what does engage mean? And then I looked up the word, and it means to occupy one's attention, right? Or efforts of a person or persons. So it's to occupy one's attention. So what it was is their idea is just to simply engage the kids. And I noticed the instructor, the coach, during this practice was getting the kids involved by getting them to count. They were doing certain exercises, but he was having the children count along like 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. And he was getting them to chant different things. He would get them to repeat things. He would say, keep your eye on the ball. Now, everybody say that together. Keep your eye on the ball. And these kids they'd all say it together. And he would have different phrases throughout the practice that would get the kids engaged by having them repeat it and having them chant certain things as well. He also basically told the children that there would be a game, a scrimmage at the end of the practice, and all the kids were excited about that. So, that also kept in the kids' mind that there was going to be a game at the end of the clinic, basically during after the drills and some of the practicing some of the core techniques, that there would be a game. So that, I think, kept the kids' interests in mind. But how does this all relate to success in your business? And specifically here, I'm talking about creating an online business, because that's what I'm doing these days. So talking about creating an online business, right? And having engagement with your customers or potential prospects is so important, right? Because funny enough, even with kids between ages maybe 4, 5, or 6, right, their attention span is very short, very limited, and they tend not to pay attention or listen. But the funny thing is, adults are not that different, really. Nowadays, with all of the different distractions going on, what they call shiny ball syndrome, right? That we tend to have, the slightest little thing will distract us from what we're focusing on. So adults don't differ that much. And when you're creating a business online, you want to create engagement. And what I mean by that is if you're doing videos like this, right, or blogs or emails you're sending out to your list or potential prospects, you got to have something that's enticing, right? You got to have something that grabs their attention and makes them want to watch it, read it, or listen to something, right? So that would mean be creating a clever title or a video title that just totally grabs people's attention, or a blog title, or the subject line of an email, right? Something that provokes people to want to open up the email to read it. These are all very important. In fact, this engagement can be used also for offline businesses too, because offline businesses like brick and mortar businesses, they still need to engage their customers and prospects to get them to actually focus enough to, you know, take a look at their business. So the light went off. I'm just going to keep going here. But basically, you know, folks, you got to get your people engaged. Because if you're not engaging your customers and prospects, you're going to lose their attention like this, right? You got to find some way to draw them in, to entice them. So that's what I wanted to catch, you know, to address to you all today, that young children and businesses being successful these days, there's not a whole lot of difference, right? And that's what my realization was the other day. So hope you all are able to get a little bit of value out of this here, a little nugget or two, and we'll talk to you all soon on my next video, which will be coming out very, very soon, probably tomorrow. And you guys take care. We'll talk to you all very soon.